Okay, let's get this stream started by booting Fallout 4. There it is, there it goes. Like Skyrim, it actually boots up rather quickly. But New Light is the reason I've named my video as such is because I do have a few more opinions on Fallout 76. Obviously, last Fallout 4 stream where I discussed it sort of came up pretty much as soon as the E3 announcement was over. There was very, very little details. My overall opinion on it is still pretty low. Most of my gripes are still pretty much the same as they were, but I actually can't remember where I was going, but yeah. Yeah. That's nice, no AFK. But my thoughts haven't really changed all that much, although unless, it won't be a no purchase now. Todd Howard has stated that, yes, later down the line, and this is specifically later down the line, as in it's not in development yet, because they're still trying to make it work, but there will be a single-player mode where you can have, like, whether it's a private server that you host yourself, or basically some mode where you can play privately, with no other people dicking about, or being idiots, or even existing, which will apparently have full mods. Whether it'll have console commands, it probably would as a server admin kind of thing. So that's sort of raised my opinion on it a bit. I still think it'll be a, I still think the no NPCs is stupid. Although apparently there is a reason for that now, and that is testers must have been like alpha testers they had, were thick and couldn't tell if someone was an NPC or an actual player. To be honest, that's just a dumb excuse. That is a really dumb excuse. It's beyond dumb. There's no reason not to have voiced NPCs. I think the problem is, any voiced NPC that gives a quest would have to be essential. Because, or respawn within X amount of time, because some dick is going to go around killing every single NPC. You just know it. That's probably why any NPCs are robots, because apparently they have a realistical reason for respawning. Because if they're anything like Victor in Fallout 4 New Vegas, they're just a program that can inhabit any single one. Also, I have no idea where I'm going. All I know is I'm getting off the Pridwin. I know one of these is up. Yeah, the Black Labrador's up there. It was free. I wouldn't waste money on the dogs otherwise. They're just not worth it. I mean, 200 Bethesda bucks for... Oh, sorry, Bethesda fun bucks. Specifically fun bucks. So... Yeah, that's still very much a concern of mine, AFK. It is going to have a pretty sucky quest line. As weak as any of the others are, they at least have a proper quest line. Fallout 76 doesn't even look like it's going to have that. I mean, I do want to explore its world. Its world does look interesting. But I don't want... I think that there will be absolutely nothing in the way of quests. Unless some sort of proper single-player storylines added with a single-player mode, which I doubt. I doubt they'll go through that effort. I mean... Let's face it, I get the distinct impression there's no quests so they could save on voice acting budget. It's just a cynic in me says that they just wanted to do it on the cheap. Which would, would explain why they use so many Fallout 4 assets. Because they use sorry, my headphones are falling off my head. Oh, occasionally they just need a little resetting, there we go. Yeah, that's the Black Labrador. For some reason I thought it was up by Libertalia, which is like pirate heaven cities. Like legendary pirate city named after. Don't know what kind of pirates don't have no functioning boats, but that's beside the point. They're raiders that they probably just saw it on a poster somewhere. There we go. Yes. The renaming system is terrible, that Daisy will do. Even though when I think of Daisy as a dog, I immediately think of my friend's little tiny cock spaniel. And it is tiny, it's like one of the 3/4 the size it should be. It's Which one do I send it to? Sanctuary. And that's it. The dogs have no purposes. They're not companions. They're not set. They are basically pointless. You need a transdogrifier to give them a purpose. Cunning. Oh, if I had to pick a power arm to be on the cover, a Fallout 4 T60, definitely. Fallout 3 T45. New Vegas. The fuck is power armor? There's so little of it. And Fallout 76. I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't really pick T51, but it is kind of the one to work. It's mainly only because it's the only one that hasn't been done before. That's the only reason I would pick T51 is because it's the only one that hasn't been done before. That's unusual. Normally I have to trigger the My Alert Queen. I'll let it win. The My Alert Queen does tend to... Well, no it doesn't, because vanilla it's piss weak and dies to anything, just like everything else. Did I just see it shit out an egg? I did, didn't I? I just saw it shit out an egg. Oh, he's sticking through the floor! That's why I'm struggling. He fell through the floor, that's why I'm struggling to hit it. That's why I was struggling to hit him, because he fell through the floor. Also, why am I upset? I thought I told myself to stop obsessively hoarding shit. No, I don't want to VATS him, I want to VATS him! Because VATS melee is overpowered and cannot miss. And cannot be interrupted like that. You know, nothing's going to stop rocket-powered sledgehammer. Back up. No! Oh, I can't say I did, actually. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of civilianized power armor like that. That actually sort of makes sense that there'll be a construction-based one. You know, saves having a... You know, instead of having something as clumsy as a forklift, you have someone in power armor do heavy lifting. It actually does make actual sense. And granted that we have to 1v1 hell of well-funded or well-connected construction firm, but... Well, everyone knows that the pre-war way to victory was to get in bed with the military or Vault-Tech. You know... Oh, that's an operator. Oops. I just saw Raider... I guess I've got to get used to the fact that my Raider buddies are actually going to come in and help me. It's like... Ew. Like trying to... Yeah, cooked meat. Oh yeah, cooked soft meat is shit. Some food is hilariously overpowered, you know, hilariously potent, and some food is just shit. Goodbye, infected blood bug. Oh, the operator, that's what's spamming. No, it's not going to fall over. I'm disappointed by that. Let's see. But yeah, that's... You know, I will play Fallout 76. I do want to look at the world, but I'm going to wait till that single-player mode comes out, because, let's face it, playing a Bethesda game vanilla is a bit... Ugh. Like, it's not something I ever want to go through. I mean, they're not just... There's so many flaws with them vanilla. I mean, for one, females are flat as pancakes. You know, very few women I've ever seen are that flat. And yet they always are.
Eugene, your brother Malcolm has prepared a surprise for you. Follow me.
That's not confusing at all. Well, gonna have some... Why can't I draw my bloody weapon? I just noted. How much do you have to hate your own sibling to hack the Mr. Handies into killing them? A lot of Nuka-Cola, though.
Hell yeah.
Yay! I love how it's Tesla Science Magazine and what is clearly a power armor wielding minigun. I love that. It's supposed to be about energy weapons, and yet it shows a power armor carrying a minigun. Not a Gatling laser, a minigun. I'm not sure if they lock. I can never remember the way out of this building. I went into the wrong side of this little shipyard thing. Blood bug, blood bug, blood bug. Blood bug? Was it trying to do its flee across the Commonwealth tactic? Also, I do find it funny that in an anti-griefing statement on Fallout 76, they said griefers won't be able to follow you across the entire world. Like, how will that be stopped? And more importantly, they said like a Deathclaw won't follow you across the Commonwealth. I know for a fact that Deathclaws will follow you across the Commonwealth, because I have kited one across the Commonwealth. I have basically had a Deathclaw follow me the entire time, because every time I slowed down to take a breather on my sprinting, guess what? The Deathclaws arrived. I haven't done Sorgus Ironworks. Let's do Sorgus Ironworks. But first, checkpoint defense, because apparently checkpoint defense is nearby. Ferals, not ferals. I also once saw a one-legged feral standing up. It was quite funny. I actually noticed that last night. Oh, it's ferals, they're fine. No, you got a blue automatic laser pistol. Let's reset you. That's better. Wait, what? Where did he find that? Where did he find that?
Another victory for the Brotherhood.
You've got no armor. You need recycling. No, you still have no. Something is seriously wrong there.
Right here.
Something is seriously wrong with these. He's got a machine gun out of somewhere. She's got no armor.
Threat neutralized.
May the Institute's fall be a lesson to anyone who risks tampering with our humanity.
This template clearly seems broken.
The Commonwealth, but our job is far from over.
Okay, apparently resetting.
Hey.
I hope I live long enough.
Something is seriously wrong there. I'm just gonna forget that happened and move on. Something is seriously wrong there. Might have to look at the level list. I don't even think I touched scribe armor.
Can I help you? You've got that twinkle in your eye like you're looking for something.
And dampening coils, dampening coils.
I'm looking for some dampening coils that I think may be near here.
Well, you've got unfortunate timing, friend. I had some up until a few days ago. A group of trumped-up raiders called the Forged. They took over.
It takes a lot more than a bunch of punks to scare me.
Especially considering how lame they are vanilla. I buffed the flamer so it actually does damage, but vanilla, it's laughable. And that's pretty much all they use. Oh, Molotovs. They spam Molotovs like there's no tomorrow.
Closest thing I've got. I don't guess you'd be crazy enough to try and get it back.
Industrial buildings like that are pretty dangerous.
I see what you're getting at.
Sounds like this isn't some normal group of raiders either.
All right. How's 200?
Bet a weapon like that is worth more on its own.
You want my shirt while you're at it? Fine.
Your shirt doesn't give me any money. I don't want it.
I'm concerned, he's dead to me.
I'll find it.
You're doing me a big favor.
All he wants is bloody soul. Clearly, age brings out the worst in people. Also, Saugus Ironworks is where I learned that if you launch an artillery strike, do not go into an interior cell ever until it is finished, and you've got confirmation over the radio that it is finished, because otherwise you'll come out the build. I shelled the entrance, and as soon as I came out, the artillery commenced, and I immediately died instantly. Well, that failed. I am not Scouts. Although that actually is representative of my accuracy as a Scout. Oh, fuck it. I'll just Vax cheat you. Yeah, you do your fucking melee bash up. I'll smack you with a big hammer. And I toned that down. I've actually tweaked the settings so that doesn't happen as often. Like the immediate parry that would always happen. It was really annoying, vanilla. Still pretty annoying. It's just, I think it's more a case of how bad Stagger is in Fallout 4 than anything else. I mean, melee in New Vegas is just brainless. You just basically keep swinging and then put a block up whenever you think they're going to strike back. Oh, the gunners are attacking me now. Oh dear. See you later, AFK. Thanks for watching my stream. Oh, flame of fuel. Might as well take it while I'm here. There goes the Molotovs. I love how they know no one ever bothers telling their oh, get out the... Get your fat ass out of the way. I'm trying to loot that Nuka-Cola machine. Yes, good, you moved your fat ass, good. I want that quantum. Mainly because... Actually, how many stims do I have? Over 100. Stim away. I didn't realise I had so many. There are times when you just forget how many stims you have. Oh, fuck it. You're so low leveled I can melee butt you to death. I love how both of those missed. Up to Depot Tektron. I think I hit it. No, it was just a tripwire gang. I don't know why it triggered, but it was a tripwire. There's a turret around here. If it doesn't have flaming bullets, I'll be very disappointed. What? Really? I'm gonna bother taking that. Ooh, empty freeze. I'm very disappointed with this turret. I was expecting it to have flaming rounds. And I've got so many stim packs I can use them without even concern anymore. Yo! Where do I go? I don't really remember where I'm going here. Well, I don't want to go in the incinerator, that would just be stupid. Ears itching. Itching ears. Well, that's nothing if not concerning. I'm on the wrong side. I can never remember where I'm going in this place. Like, ever. I can never remember where to go once I get to this second room. I always go the wrong way. I've been through this place a few times, I still can never remember the way. Unless falling down is a mistake. I think Oh, no, there it is. That's where you go. The route that doesn't look like a route, but is a route. Yeah, I'm on the right track now. For some reason, I always get lost in these sort of factory sort of settings. I always get lost, always, without fail.
She tries to leave. Kill her. You must be pretty strong to make it here.
Oh.
No, best camera angle ever.
I thought they were just trying to throw me a barbecue.
Huh? Like your style, stranger.
X6 is blocking my face.
Talk to me like that. See, Jake? Here's someone who might actually be.
He always has full Raider and a T-45 chest piece.
You're gonna kill me.
But I brought everything you asked for.
Stealing things from your family farm doesn't prove your strength, boy. Oh, this wonderful sword you brought does put me in a mood. Kill that prisoner.
You said we'd be raiding outside the company.
Prove to me that you can.
Oh God, what am I?
Walk away, Jake.
You have like a pipe pistol or a 10mm, you're hilariously badly armed.
You're right.
Gonna be, Jake?
I don't want to join the Forge. I just want to go home.
Last chance, Jake. You don't get
No, don't fall in the bloody fire pit. Because if he falls in a pit, that's it, getting the sword back's almost impossible. Because getting out of that fire pit is a pain in the arse. It's not it's semi-unique. You can find legendaries off them, but I don't think anything else actually spawns with them, so it's semi-unique.
Excuse
Thanks
me.
a lot. Thank you.
Wait.
You didn't do anything. You ran like a little bitch.
Sorry, I messed up. I panicked.
You ran like a bitch.
What were you doing with those guys anyway?
Yeah.
You squealed like a bitch and ran down the stairs.
I thought we'd be raiding outside of the Commonwealth, and that if I joined them, I could provide for my family.
Raiders aren't a job, you know.
God, my dad's right. I'm such an idiot. Look, I should probably try to go, but I bet if you're there to explain, I bet if you bring my great-granddad's sword, I'll wait for you by the over.
Also, I've never quite figured out what that little metal cage arrangement on the arm is supposed to be. As to why someone's wrapped barbed wire around their arm. I've never quite understood why it's there. Oh no, the door's... Gotta wait for the door to reset. Sometimes load doors just fail if an NPC's just gone through them. Let's see, is this locked? No. Through the blue door, doom. For some reason blue doors are everywhere. Well, might as well talk more about... Oh yeah, I've heard more things about Fallout 76 and I forgot to mention. There will be... I think there's something like 50 types of different types of creature, which is an impressive amount. Most of them are probably recycled from Fallout 4. You know, it will... You know, not having like the likes of Yaogwai and such would be quite unusual. I'm just concerned that one of these has a fat man. I think it's her, actually. Also, if you want a set of heavy combat armor really early, kill her. She always has a full set of the stuff. Well, apart from one arm. And she does have a fat man as well. My accuracy is atrocious! Stop wasting those precious missiles, I want them. I'm not even convinced this can hit at this range, but... No, definitely hitting, he is recoiling, it's just doing Like, massive damage all off. No, it's not even hit him. I think even X6 has bothered trying to attack that one. Whee! You're unusually well armed. Oh dear, a gun's stuck in its firing noise, and it sounds like... Sometimes that happens and a gun's firing noise just sort of continues. I've gotten used to it happening now. First I thought, what the fuck's going on? Now I know what's going on. And nothing seems to fix it either. You just gotta sort of go away and it eventually fixes itself. Yeah, I was hitting him, but I was so far out of range and I was doing so little damage, it was just not worth it. Because default range in Fallout 4 is weird. They're going to have like a really short range. A Mark 1 turret, really. Everyone else here is like really quite high ranked with like almost like heavy armor. And there's a Mark 1 turret that's going to take me down. Yeah, right. That's going to happen, isn't it? Oh, I fell through the one tiny little hole. Thinking, how do we get up there? Can't climb this sort of ladder-like arrangement. You've got to go to the command caravan. Go to the command caravan. Use a terminal. Use a crane control, lower crane. It's just a nice little detail that doesn't appear anywhere else. Yeah, nowhere else does this little crane type arrangement even appear. Oh goodness. Whew. Radiated, possibly the most useless legendary effect. In that it only really works on humans. You know, it's so situational. That's I know why she has default armor. Because no matter what happens, she might either pre-spawn like that, or she might. I think she always has an exact set of stuff. So I don't think she uses gun level lists, because I don't think she's actually in a leveled list. I think she just has the well, she does have a leveled list to give her the always heavy armor, always the same armor, but it's not like it's not like gunnified. Now back to Finch Farm, which is just past this like bit of Brahmin Island. Is it an island? Let's see, is it actually an island? Is it Brahmin Island? No, it's a spit. Because it doesn't actually... It connects. Oh, I was going to call it Brahmin Island. Gotta clean up this site before I build my settlement. Stretchy, stretchy, stretch. Oh dear, that short hunting rifle's not going to kill anything, is it?
I thought if I joined up, I could keep them from raiding our farm. I didn't. I don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't care what I told you.
Abraham Francis Finch, that's enough.
Oh, Francis. Why would you ever give your kid that as a name? You know, it's kind of... It's almost like you have an embarrassing middle name, so when someone says it, you feel really, really bad.
Act like one, and you better stop treating him like a child. Jimmy, your father and I have been out there, and we know it can be dangerous.
Might as well bake some food. I don't know. I thought I cooked all my fog crawler meat before. Clearly I didn't. Radical roach, radical stag. Oat meat cakes, derp. Yeah, that would have been disgusting anyway. Crafting food is a really easy way of getting levels, because you always end up with quite a lot of it. Very unusual buff, that one. Oh bloody hell, how much violet meat do I have? You start learning how to mash your enter button. Well, mouse. Why does this disgusting brew take purified water? That doesn't even make sense. There, apparently that takes more potatoes than it's worth. The question is, what is a tato? Is it tomato or is it potato, or is it a mix of both?
Mr. Finch.
Some horrible mutated anomaly.
There's no way I can thank
I mean, it grows like a tomato, it looks like a tomato, so it's probably a tomato.
you. Hang on to that. Didn't put a smile on Granddad's face to know it was being used to help people.
Now, just got to clean up the... So there's quite a lot of crap just lingering at this settlement.
Woman, Daniel.
Even if I had time for something.
As I said, there's quite a lot of crap here.
Ain't exactly mine.
And my general rule is
When you need
I clean up all the branches and shit.
out there, you know, that
Because why would you ever leave that in the middle of your farm zone?
and there's that girl
You know, you would have taken the stump, you would at least de-log it, you wouldn't leave the logs behind. You probably use said logs to mill your crappy lumber to make that. Refrigeration device. Car, stump. I don't think that tar pile's intrusive, but toilet definitely is. Cars are always intrusive. Especially the cars that go boom. I think that is cleaned. I don't think these trees are a hazard, because I don't think I built anything out of there.
But that scrap heap of yours get about 10 pieces of junk lodges and
Razor grain. I think that's it. I think that's the clean-up.
What makes you think that, sweetheart?
don't you play poison?
Now, miscellaneous. Scroll for weeks. It would be really nice if they were at the top of the list, but no. And transfer settlements, there we go. Import a settlement from a blueprint. And I think it's one of my later ones, so we aren't now, we aren't Dalton, we aren't Fincher. Make sure that's just toggled back on, so it actually gets rid. Because sometimes the settings don't really remember themselves.
By here with that much scrap, not lately.
Still even take all the food away. There it goes. There goes all the food. Oh, I missed the branch pile. Before, for some reason, the new king has never worked properly for me. In earlier versions, the new king would take away everything that was destroyable or highlightable, including the bloody transmitter at the castle, which fucks the castle over royally. And it made, but it would only do that on the very, very first settlement you used, and only the first one. Then it would do like normal and only get rid of things you can actually rebuild, which is really weird. Because that's sort of, isn't that the only scrap items I built? Oops. Out of all the places I could stand myself between the bloody weapons emporiums. course I stand myself between the shops. Sort of a big bunkhouse thing I built up. And the last. And oh, yes, that's considering that's in the way of my entry hole.
Sneaking around in that salvage yard tonight. If those gunners catch you stealing their metal,
There we go. That's the food setup. I know it shouldn't be set. I know it says don't do this, but you need to have them feed themselves. Although I think because these are name settlers, they don't actually require anything. It's one of the unusual traits. But you know, I tried to make the bunkhouse look quite nice. I mean, it has a fucking toilet. So it's better than most places. Just sort of like a balcony. A lot of animal cages for like catching chickens. You know, so it's sort of a farm. Because what place would be good without a food emporium? And the bunkhouse itself. Okay, I did not realise that wall was so tall. Although it doesn't actually clash with the bed, so it's fine, you can get around it. It works, it does what it needs to do. And of course it's got the power generation on top for the, basically for the settlement recruitment beacon. Let's go this way, see where the golden retriever lives. So I'm assuming that's what this marker is. But yeah, back to Fallout 76, and it's apparently like 50 plus creatures. Most of them are... Let's see, there's 4 different... I'm just trying to count out the ones that Fallout 4 has, because it's got 4 different types of Mirelurk that are radically different. You know, I'm not counting likes of like Savage Deathclaw versus regular Deathclaw. That's just the variation. But let's see, there's the 4 types of lurks: King, Queen, Hunter, and Normal. Because the Hunters are different because they're lobsters rather than crabs. Then you've got the 4 types of insect. Oh no, 5 types of insect. Because bloatfly, bloodbug. Sorry, I'm just... That's 9. So 5 types of insect. Sorry, I'm just keeping track on a calculator. So there's not the 5 types of insect because there's the bloodbug, there's the bloatfly, there's the radical roach, there's the radical scorpion, and there's the stingwing. Then you got ferals, which is 1. Glowing ones don't count because they are just fancy ferals. Got Deathclaw. Speaking of bloatfly. You've got Mutant Hund. You've got Super Mutant. You've got Super Mutant Behemoth. You've got... I did Deathclaw already. You got Air. You got Dog. Og. Am I missing any? Come to about 16, so am I missing any? Oh, Radical Stag. Fogcrawler, Angler, Gulper. I'm counting with DLC. Radical Chicken. Wolf. Rat. What's that other one? Cave Cricket. Brahmaluft. Gator Claws just about count. Brahmin and Brahmaluft, I don't count both of those as separate. Basically, one's head and one isn't. No, they're too close to be separate entities. Then there's... what else is there? Little ants. Flying ants. Sentrybot. Nah, Sentrybot doesn't count as creature though, does it? Sentrybot doesn't count as a creature. But so far 28. And that's just what I can remember off the top of my head, so... Yeah, 28 creatures in Fallout 4, so... I'm assuming pretty much everything in Fallout 4 comes back. Oh, more out. 29. So 29, roughly 29 creatures in Fallout 4, including DLCs. So that's pretty impressive, actually. So, and then in Fallout 76, we sort of know about the. Assuming they have all the same as Fallout 4, we know about the giant sloth. We know about the giant flying mutated bat. There's something else I couldn't recognise, but saw in a trailer. I didn't know what it was. Couldn't tell what it was, but there was something else. So it's, there's at least 32 there, so there's apparently like 18 or so left to figure out. And the justification for having so many creatures is, and actually it is a lot better than the reason for no humans, is that there is, unlike, because it's so close to the end of the war, species that otherwise wouldn't have survived are still surviving. Basically they only survive for a short time, they don't last for very long. Yeah, I did just see him move on the floor, didn't I? I didn't miss any creatures, did I? I might have. I might miss some, but there's a good range. Oh, something was attacking. The unmistakable sound of the Gauss turrets blapping away. They are kind of unmistakably loud. Better sign some of these settlers. Because apparently settlers don't like to assign themselves to things. There you go. You command the Armor Emporium. Yeah, no.
What just happened? Eat it. This time.
Well, that's that settlement all assigned. Yeah, 50 creatures seems interesting. There's going to be at least, assuming that number's right, it probably isn't. But there's probably going to be about 10. There's going to be at least 10 species we haven't seen yet. I mean, that's assuming all the old species from Fallout 4 come back, which I can't see why they wouldn't. I mean, if you're going to have super mutants around, you might as well have the mutant hounds. I mean, mutant hounds could happen without. I mean, they're very clearly FEV rather than just pure mutation like a lot of creatures, but because they're all green, which is something FEV does, or yellow in the case of Fallout 3. For some reason, the mutants in that are yellow. Speaking of Fallout 3, nothing official, but the lead, NafNaf95, happened to do a live stream recently. Nothing very subtle. It went on for about 5 hours. And things that came up was Capital Wasteland. Did a little test playing in Megaton, which looks a lot less green than it did last time I saw it. It just shows you how horrible that Diamond City green paint on everything is. But it came up and it was... Do I see... I think I saw synths. But there was a specific character that he wanted to go talk to. Billy Creel. Now, I can't remember what his voice is like in Fallout 3. But they've revoiced him. And the revoicing is very, very good. Like, very good. Like, where did you get that? I'm wondering if certain members of patrols have, like, randomized gear. Like, it's not even, like, they have just a patrol one rather than faction gear. But, yeah, so there's possibilities that Capital Wasteland isn't as infinite hiatus as it is as we originally thought. I can't believe I haven't been here. Now there is a holotape in here.
Nice.
And with a Hot Rod Skill magazine. That allows you to activate said sentry boot. Like I say, you can send to a few places. Yeah, it's actually quite handy. And then you can send it to a few locations and it'll help clear them out.
Mapping protocol for nearby military emplacements that require assistance. U.S. Air Force Satellite Station, Olivia.
But I want my fusion cores, so I'm blowing it up. Oh, mole rats. How could I forget mole rats? But yeah, so there's a possibility that Capital Wasteland's come off its indefinite hiatus. I mean, I'm glad it's a glimmer of hope, if nothing more. I wouldn't take it as anything else, and no one watching my streams anyway, so it's not like the blue gaming journos will pick up on it. You know, there's no like actual confirmation, but it's a case of if they can prove without a doubt that they are going to revoice it, that is the issue, is the revoicing. That's always been the issue, is because of the weird licensing nature of it. You know, it's probably a cheaper option when Fallout 3 was made, and since all the radio stuff was licensed anyway, it was probably a case of why the hell not? You know, is it better to own everything about a game, or what's the point of owning bits of the audio when you don't own the other? It's, you know, it's a complicated minefield of legal crap. But, you know, that has always been the issue with Capital Wasteland. That's the reason why it went on hiatus. You know, it sort of indefinitely stopped. It was never actually cancelled. The terminology was very specific on that. This golden retriever is suspiciously close to Vault 111. Boom. Yeah, I thought that corpse was a spasm. There, I just can't leave a spazzing corpse alone. Doggies! But, yeah, so there's a glimmer of hope for Capital Wasteland. Might come back and of course, Cascadia is still going strong. Cascadia isn't very regular with its updates, but you know it's going, and I can't help but think that Fallout 76 being very, very light on story will make Cascadia keep on going quite strong. If anything, it might draw more interest. The for New Vegas, again, that's still going strong. By the way, both of those projects have confirmed, both Cascadia and For New Vegas have confirmed that they are not going to Fallout 76. Not only would it be a technical nightmare, but it would have been a hassle. It would have been too much work, especially since they both rely on the script extender. They both would have had an issue, even if Fallout 76 was basically a New Vegas style version of Fallout 4. Much like New Vegas was basically Fallout 3, but slightly improved in engine aspects. Let's send you to the Red Rocket and go with Doggy Meat. But let's rename you first, because it's renaming. There, Pericles will do, because it's funny. Or Pericles is I don't know. I don't know my Greek very well. It sounds like one of the Greek ones. But that renaming interface is horrible. Well, it's not really an interface, you just sort of have to cycle through it till you find one you like. I mean, my dog is called Bullet, so... Yes, it's named after the stuff that you shoot at it. My dog is called Bullet because he is speedy. I mean, the reason he's called Bullet is because when we got him, he sort of darted around like a bullet. It was quite fast. Oh, I thought Doggy Meat was a red rocket. Clearly not. But, okay. I always thought Doggy Meat was a red rocket, but okay. I didn't think I moved him. Clearly I did. Let's do this.
That was some luck. Yeah?
Oh, it was a bloatfly, wasn't it? And it was Trash Can Carlo. I know what I'm going to do. It's just clean up a little mess. It's not the actual house bit. Clean up these brief stacks of tyres. I have a thing against stacks of tyres. But I'm going to save first. Make sure it saves properly. I don't trust autosaves. But settings, transfer settlements. I'm making I'm just making sure it actually destroys it first. 418 sounds about right. But the reason is, Sanctuary is the one I've actually upgraded slightly to make it a bit nicer. Just gotta wait for it to prepare and destroy itself. It's just occurred to me that having X6 and Tesla T60 is kind of pointless, considering that, well, she uses a minigun. Kind of pointless. But when it nukes itself, you'll find I have upgraded it significantly. You know, I'm not overly... Oh, the generator's down. It's going boom. Gotta wait for it to scrap itself. But what I did was, I did actually make it more defended, rather than just having a random gate in the middle of the bridge. I have actually sort of rearranged the gates now about here. You'll see in a few minutes when it finally nukes itself. And this is why I didn't want to do the process of nuking without the... You know, I wanted to do the nuking after. That jump is pathetic. I don't know anyone who can actually start walking in the air like that. It's better than games that make you have to have a running jump where you basically move like that if you jump. Mainly because it just gives you a bit more control. Because in reality, you know how far you want to jump and how far you can jump. Speaking of how far I can jump about halfway across the road. Oof. Okay, nuking is completed. Sanctuary is completely defenseless. Import settlement. Sanctuary. Notice there is a lot more shit here. Yeah. Oh. Now it builds. And you'll notice a nice new... There's shit that didn't get nuked! What didn't get nuked? And that's why you do the nuking pass first, because the nuking pass does different shit. Why is the 5... it crashed. Oopsie. There was clearly too much shit going on. Makes you wonder how people import, like, the 1,000 bloody piece settlements. Yeah, because I have it set on pretty much as slow as it can go without this time slowdown, which causes really bad problems. You know, I have everything else is set as low overrunning as possible. Oh, great! I've got to wait for it to delete itself again. Ugh. Because I can guarantee the nuking process that comes with a thing won't delete everything. And I'll have like 5 things in one place. Ugh. I should have saved after, shouldn't I? You live and learn. And then forget because you're a dope. If you're anything like me. Because I forget many things. Bloat flies are just disgusting. And they fire... what they fire is maggots. They fire their own young at you. I'll probably get... Actually, I have an idea. I don't think I know why it ran so badly. Its Sanctuary is a multi-cell settlement. I am actually within pretty much loading distance off Red Rocket, so it can be quite bad. Now, I know these settlements work together because I've done it together. But I will move to the back end that's like a lot less, well, laggy. So a lot of Sanctuary is very, let's just say, quite bad. But my problem with this one is this was made pre-event settlement turrets, which means that it was very poor. You know, I want to be basically as far away from Red Rocket as possible, which would be about... probably this corner out. No, because I don't think that's actually within the boundaries of Sanctuary. Is that... It is a gate, isn't it? I'm not convinced that this bit's actually... I think this is where I put my defensive perimeter, but I'll stay in this garden because I think this is the better spot. Of course, there's one thing you definitely do not want when you're building settlement, and that is more than one companion. I mean, one companion's annoying enough because they just they get in the way, they stop you from placing shit, they go through doors, they sit on couches, they basically stop you from building effectively. They are really, really annoying. Like, they just leave doors open wherever they go. Nuking. I don't know how I live without transfer settlements. It's just so... It makes the settlement... It's something that should have been vanilla. And it makes me wonder if Fallout 76 didn't use it as inspiration. You know, or at least the general idea that created transfer settlements in the first place of why the fuck can't I save these things? Because I don't know when Fallout 76 started development and when the sort of camp system came about. But there we go, now it's done. And let's not look at Red Rocket, because Red Rocket's a lag factory. Sanctuary. Nuki Duke. Import Sanctuarium. This is the point where I'll see if it works. It could just be that the buffer filled up from the big nuking process before. Or it could be that it was just because I was looking at Red Rocket, which is... Well, it's basically... Sanctuary and Red Rocket are about as close as settlement sites get, and I'm wondering if it's a... I'm wondering if it's a case of the buffer was... now I'm thinking it's a case the buffer was full. If not, well... Go away, special. I actually do occasionally rewatch them, but not while I'm streaming. It could just be that the buffer's full. Because I've had no issues importing it before. None at all. Adley, he's a rifle. The automatic one is you basically need the reflex sight because otherwise it sort of blocks the sight. Because the reflex sight sits a bit higher so you can actually see through it while you're using the auto barrel. Because the auto barrel is just weird. I'm wondering if turning console on would help it work. Time slowing works, and maybe complete time stop would work? I don't know, I've never actually tried to import something so big before. This is my biggest settlement. Let's not nuke this time. No, it runs in real time. It's funny, some scripts run in real time, some run in... Seems you're getting further. It could just be that the buffer was full. I know there is a script buffer. I have had quite a few crashes that I haven't really been able to repeat that have been caused by script-related issues, notably my Raw mod. It does actually use script, and I have had crashes because of it. In particularly busy areas, if too much shit's going on, like I eat someone and that person's eating someone, or more than sometimes it can just cause issues. It can cause issues. I don't know if the script buffer just got full from doing the destroy act. But I do prefer my new sanctuary. It is much nicer. Some of my redesigned settlements are just like a case of fixing holes in the walls, bringing the walls down so they're not floating. Generally not too big a difference, while sanctuary is quite a big difference. The general theme is still there of living in the actual houses. Is still very much the theme. I don't like the idea of building shit shacks all over Sanctuary. It's not a settlement that likes shit shacks. It's got a lot of serviceable buildings. Probably more structural than a bloody Wasteland shit shack. Because I can't help but think the Wasteland shit shack is leaky and not exactly sealed from anything. Yeah, that was fun. It might have just been a buffer, it might have been the nuking process was just a wee bit too much for us. And yes, there is a lot of power connections because of the lights, the street lights. That's why it's so bad. That's why there's so many, but notice there's no longer like about 100 off them like it was the first time. I can't remember if that was like... No, I'm sure that was on stream.
I'm looking forward to the next mission.
And yes, the lights do glow. The food is sorted. The settlers will assign themselves to it, I'm sure. Did I see Sheffield? You know what? Let's give him something. So he doesn't look like a bum anymore. Let's actually give him Minuteman gear. He can be one of the last surviving Minutemen who went crazy and went drinking Coca-Cola. You're thinking, how the hell did you backfile specific outfits? Well, I'm not going to take his Nuka-Cola off him.
Gave up alcohol after settling down here. Doctor said I shot my liver.
I actually backed the level. If you look at the back file, I actually backed the level list. So, you know, the back file basically consists of the Minuteman hat, the Minuteman outfit. No one else is getting it, it's just Sheffield. He can be the last Minuteman. He can be the last crazy. I'm just assigning someone to food because otherwise they'll all starve and bitch by the time I get back. But I'm not even going to touch the rest of it. But there's a little shit shack to built for shopping purposes. We have a few display spots for displaying their wares. You know, the front gate is a major improvement. Yeah.
If you ain't been up to see Grey Garden, you should go. The whole place is run by robots.
Fine, you can be just so hungry all the time. Well, if you're that hungry... Oh, Radical Roach. If you're that hungry, how about grabbing a pick and rake and starting to actually farm? There we go. Now they actually have food. Now they won't bitch and any new settlers will auto-assign themselves to food because it's about the only thing they do. But the gate arrangement is much better. It's no longer so illogical as just a random gate in the middle of a bridge. And I did move it. It used to be about here, but I found it clipped with a bridge, so I sort of moved it forwards a bit. Well, I actually moved up the gate. Depends which way. Position is relative. I moved it here rather than here. And of course, the water system is fully enclosed. But for realism purposes, you'll notice that there is enough space for water to come in and out. There is a water flow gate there, which is two wire fences stuck together. And yes, this river is very polluted, but it's basically there so I can actually justify having without having to give up on the defences. Of course, the fish hanging shack for any fish that they catch. The garbage can gets in the way a bit. Can't move it. I think, actually, can I move it? No, I can't. You can't move it, which is a problem. Which is why it's there. Anyway, that's the new improved sanctuary. The fences are a lot better. It's actually got proper defensive towers now. It's full on Minuteman, because of course that's what sanctuary is. It even gets the special Minutemen logo. And it gets a unique map marker for no apparent reason. That doesn't become clear until you well, probably for this statue actually, but the Red Rocket was minor improvements. It's not worth going through the hassle of rebuilding it. Basically, the fence is better implemented. There's some lights in here. You know, there's lights up there. I sort of replace those with vault lights. Oh dear, there's settlers everywhere. Bloody hell, there's a lot of settlers here. You, supply line, sanctuary. I know it's sort of a long supply line. Wait, can you actually go to sanctuary? No, you can't. Oh, wait, there you are. It is. But because you're sanctuary, you don't need weapons, armor, or anything. You can go to Finch Farm.
I just want to trade a few things.
Go ahead.
Lost track of...
Let's get you a weapon, because I don't like them going out without weapons. Now you can have an automatic laser rifle. Ammo. Fusion. Wow, I have a lot of burned down fusion cores. You only need to ever give them one ammo. Always take the bloody pike pistol off them, because for some reason, they like to use the pike pistol, even though it's shit. Always take the pike pistol ammo off them as well. Because I give him. Don't want that one. Don't want him gun up at him. Don't want to shoot him by accident. Don't want to shoot him by accident now.
Let's trade some things.
Sure thing.
Let's get him out of that armor. So, what's a good under armor? There, you can have some Nuka World style armor. That way I know you're a set. You're a well, you would have a Brahmin actually. He's quite obvious. So, but that gets rid of a few of them from here. It's sort of a resource hub. Oh wait, they're not actually assigned to the stores. And nutters are these. Oh, you farm boy. That's weird. He's not assigned, but he's supply lined. That's weird. You store. You store. I love how they only ever auto-assign themselves to farming. It's really quite annoying. I wish they would just, you know, and they do just mill it.
Sure.
They do just sort of mill around the bar as well. They're quite bad, the settlers. They're not very intelligent. But that will do. Don't leave the settlement. You're not a provisional. You have a wall for a reason. A wall with a very glaring hole, which I have fixed in my updated blueprint. A very glaring hole. So the very glaring hole in the wall. It's not even like it's a particularly well defended hole either. It's kind of a real flaw in the design. Oh, radar. Oh, dude, you're not dead. Die. And no, even though I'm in Concord, I am still not going to help Presto the Pesto, because why would I do that? And he wouldn't even speak to me anyway, because I'm a friend of the Nuka World Raiders. No one else gives a shit, except Presto the Pesto. You basically lock yourself out of minute, and you can still do settlement quests. Presto just refuses to talk to you, because he's Preston, and he's obnoxious. Also, Starlight Driving, I cannot think of an actual settlement to build there. It's one I just cannot think of anything to actually put there. Because it's basically your only true blank slate 8 location. Now, come back. You're doing the blood bug. Nah. Unlike blood bugs, these eventually turn and fight. So I think I just built a bed or something. Because it's a railroad outpost, which surprisingly doesn't clean up when you destroy the railroad, probably because Keeper or Caretaker or whatever he's called don't actually go hostile. It's always bizarre. I know where I'm going. Get the ridiculous space armor. That's where I'm going. Takes me into inner Boston. See, this is, you know, when I was talking, I think it was last New Vegas stream, I was saying how, you know, the world is. Fallout 4 is extremely dense. You cannot go 5 foot without encountering something. It's just extremely densely packed. Like, for example, no matter where you are, you can always see something within close range. Fallout 3 is a bit more spaced out, there's a bit more space between things. See, you couldn't even go like you know, couldn't even go like a couple of cells without running across something.
People are mucking around the shore at all hours, scaring my fish.
Excuse me.
Go find your own fishing spot. Clear out.
I can't help but say I've never come across this guy before.
Scare the fish, asshole. Go find your own fishing spot. Clear out.
He's begging for a shotgun to the face.
Find your own fishing spot. Clear out.
What is this place? I know exactly what it is. I really cannot be asked to go through the little town. So this looks like a suspicious sewer.
Don't try it.
Now, don't try anything.
Hey.
Don't try anything.
Ah, I know why. I know why this isn't triggering. Is this little side quest involving Covenant? Doesn't work if you destroy the Institute. It just breaks. It just outright breaks. If you destroy the Institute, it just outright breaks. I'm not sure if it happens if you've sided with the Institute either. Never tried. I think it works if you side with the Institute, but it doesn't if you destroy the Institute. It just stops working. Because the doors to the Covenant open because there's no more threat from the Institute and its synths, even though the synths are still out there. And it's yet another bloody Blade Runner reference. They have some test, which is actually the bloody Vault test from Fallout 3. It's actually quite a nice little reference. A flower. Not as much flowers to harvest in this world. This Stingwing. Odd place for Stingwings. Stingwings aren't particularly dangerous. I wouldn't even known it was here if someone hadn't made it so obvious by leaving a lantern. Because no one's attacked me. Nope, checkpoint defense time. No, I don't think this was a gunner one. I think this is just a way up. Why do I have an unpainted Institute pistol? Like, what? I mean, having the Institute pistol, fine, but why is it unpainted? There is a Brotherhood paint job for it that sort of gets rid of the white plastic look. Oh yeah, another thing with Fallout 76 that just reminded me seeing this plastic fantastic is weapon condition and armor condition, that sort of shit is returning. Yeah, that sort of shit is returning. Apparently there's also food degradation, which I think is quite interesting. Quite how already disgusting wasteland food that's already rotten to oblivion is degrading, I don't know, but... Yeah, there is weapon degradations, and to me, I hope it's done tastefully. It won't be, it's Bethesda, it'll be done flat and boring. But it, you know, but hopefully things like this, like the Institute pistol, let's face it, the Institute isn't exactly geared for combat. These things would be fragile. While something like a laser rifle would be pretty much bulletproof. It would be, you know, you'd be hard pressed to break it. Well, this, it would shatter if you accidentally drop. You know, it's kind of a case of these never go away either. Ever. You'll sort of linger here forever. No raiders come to take them, no... Nothing. you'd think the Raiders would have had it, considering the Raiders live, like, here. But, you know, hopefully it'll be done tastefully. I doubt it. But if not, it's yet another thing to add to my list of things to mod. You know, where I basically turn it off in the settings. Atomic pizza! Okay.
Sweet.
To the oven of the pizzeria. Now, I know the spelling's different, but I'm wondering if that's a reference to Futurama, where the pizzeria that Fry works at is Panucci's Pizza, and I'm wondering if that's a subtle reference to it, or just a weird, happy coincidence. You know, it could just be a coincidence, but this is very clearly a Beantown location. Mainly because of named NPC. And the fact that it's generally just a bit more, like, interesting. You know, nuclear pizza ovens. You never thought you needed it until you saw it. Wouldn't it just be a microwave? Yeah, you can tell that this is clearly not a vanilla location because it's just a little too interesting. And I'm sorry, but that is just painful. Atomic pizza, it's the bomb. That's the kind of horrendously bad slogan that you would expect from a place like that. Yeah, there are some places you can just tell are Beantown interiors. Oh, beep, 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 beep. Boom. This is vanilla. I'm gonna ignore that. In Massachusetts Chemical. Speaking of Massachusetts Chemical, can I build some chemicals? Yeah, because you really want to eat berry mentats now, you know, made of antifreeze, don't you? They're made from whiskey, lovely. That's made from a... Oh, mentats are just disgusting. Actually disgusting. I think these special merged sort of drugs, like these buff tats, buff jet, that sort of stuff, is more addictive than the regular stuff, so it's even less reason to use it. Right away, right away, right away, right away, right away. Whatever mosquito spit is, nah, it's not even worth waste. Actually, blood sac isn't exactly worth wasting, is it? There's not much you can do with that. No, that's nuke. Question is, do I bother? No, because it basically takes a quantum and a rare ammo. It's quite not that useful. Most useless thing ever. Because you end up throwing down so many of the bloody things that you actually can't make it. And why you need poison chemists to like make poison caltrops, I don't know. Ah, perfect. Weapons workbench. The lighting in here is very weird. Did she just fall off and hurt herself? And you know, I don't know why it has the Institute Paint option, because if you notice, it's exactly the same. If you notice, it's exactly the same. There, Brotherhood paint. Now it no longer looks so ridiculous. I mean, it's still a ridiculously huge pistol, but it no longer looks so bad. I mean, that is just ridiculously long now. So I've got quite a lot of crap, haven't I? I've got way too much crap. In fact, no, I've got... Rephrase that from not a lot of crap to way too much crap. Oh yeah, that's another thing I couldn't live without, is greatly increased carry weight is something I couldn't live without. And that's one of the reasons why I require console commands, is because I need to give myself carry weight, because I cannot be doing with having to return to bloody base every 5 seconds. Thank you, X6, you wasted a mini nuke there. Or was it a party on the roof and no one's invited? No. I fell. I tripped and fell. This does look a lot better in the Brotherhood Black, though. It finally looks like an actual weapon and not some plastic toy. It's... And something I can give credit with the Creation Club skins is they don't go too far. Bloody mod-added skins go way too far on options. Like, they give like hundreds of options, and it's like, why? Why is there so many? Like, why do you have like 15 different types of camo? Granted, the Pip-Boy skins do that, but that's kind of the... You know, the Pip-Boy skins basically highlight the absurd amount of choice you have with mods. Except that you actually have to pay for Pip-Boy skin. And they're barely even worth they're barely worth getting even when they're free. They're that bad.
Hey there.
Mass fusion is still secure, ma'am.
Scribes are still combing the building for tech. This place is a gold mine.
Unless the Brotherhood actually maintains a presence. I mean, I don't know if the Institute maintains a presence if you've sided with them. I mean, let's say, I can't remember if I've said in previous streams that I did an Institute run and I did feel really, really, really dirty doing it. The words tactical blunder at every single opportunity describes the Institute perfectly. Not one decision they make is tactically sound. Their entire plan revolves around player going in and disabling everything. Everything revolves around player. I say everything that the Institute does revolves around player. Everything. The Brotherhoods, their plan revolves around Big's unstoppable, except from nuclear orbit attack, you know, nuclear missiles from orbit sort of thing. Or, no, just not missiles, it's satellite locked, but it's not actually the orbit missiles. But Brotherhood plan revolves in basically using something that's pretty much unstoppable. And player just helps get the bits for it, speeds up the process a bit. While the Institute plans relies heavily on the player doing absolutely everything for free, no compensation whatsoever, because that's the Institute, so that their useless simps can actually go and do something. Okay, Hubba 360. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, that they chose Hub 360? It's not that... I guess it's probably because it's an interior cell and it's... new. I don't know if it's just because it's convenient, or whether it's because it's ironic, but the fact that most comic book geeks tend to be considered basement dwellers. And it's kind of funny that the studio for such a thing is in the basement. As you can see, there's actually effort went into this one, unlike the Pip-Boy skins, which I'll constantly use as the example of horrendous Creation Club mods, because they are. Now, collecting enough things to actually use this redemption machine is not going to happen. Because you need, like... Did I get a mystery prize? No, apparently I don't have enough boxes to do anything, but... It's like, does actually effort went into this? Oh, the NPC pathing actually works this time. Last time I came through, you know, the first time I came through here, which was the last time I came through here, on a different character, my companion didn't decide to follow me. And there's terminals all over and notes all over the place explaining the backstory of the actors and such, and how basically I'll sum it up as you know, I'm only going to sum up a little of it, but basically the main actor, the one who plays Captain Cosmos, is absolutely hates Jangles the Moon Monkey. And not just because Jangles gets a bigger room. And that people love Jangles. Jangles is the one that people actually like. That's just a very unusual way of doing the block door. Oh. But there is you can see there's actually effort in here. I mean, there's new posters, lots of new little assets. Cosmic Cannon. You know, you get a new weapon, the Cosmic Cannon, which is... Oh, and another thing to note is that every single item has full customization you'd expect. Okay, there's just not really having that. Now, the thing with the Cosmic Cannon is it's not a very useful weapon, other than the fact that it's basically a cryolator that uses regular ammo. But what's interesting with it is, notice that option, USSA paint, you know, United States Space Agency paint. But what's interesting to note is that that happens to make it, you know, it happens to have every single faction paint job, plus Enclave for some reason. Same goes with the armor. That has, for some reason, has Enclave as a paint job option. You know, but I believe that one of the people working on this was Sovereign Walrus, I believe, and I'm pretty sure he was involved with Capital Wasteland, so there's clearly some Fallout 3 love going on. And so there's the outfit, which, well, it's actually quite useful because it makes you moon bounce, basically. It's actually quite handy to have if you're trying to go places you shouldn't. Little viewing room. There's an ID card. I can get through the doors. Oh, it's now just a stain on the floor. Such a neat little pile. Damn radical roaches. But it's, you know, it's a very nicely done little thing. There's 2 sets of the armor as well. 2 full sets you can get. One of them requires a jetpack to get, so you basically got to abandon one to get the other. There's 2 frames, but you can only really get one of the frames unless you basically get a companion to somehow teleport up there. So basically, you can have you and your companion in a full set of the armor, which is here. Now, it has full customization option for paint jobs, faction ones unlocked with as per other faction ones. I don't think it has ranked Brotherhood though, because I don't think anyone really bothers with that. He's one of the actors, or he's a director, one of them. You know, there's a couple of assets here, like a fake planet, which you can clearly see is like a fabric sort of, probably like paper mache asteroids. The actual power armor, complete with default with jetpack. Bad set, but there's, you know, dum, dum, dum. It also has a space cowboy hat option, just because you can. Why not? I think was the more. I think that, you know, it wasn't a case of why, it was a case of why not.
Yes.
Here it is. This pistol is ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. But that, as you can see, there's another setup here. You have to sort of force your way up with the jetpack, though. Wait. I mean, technically, you might be able to make that... Yeah, you could make that jump, I guess. Of course, the jetpack's the main way. Oh, and it comes in... Well, I think it's level appropriate stuff. I've downgraded its stats. Stat-wise, it's identical to T60. Vanilla, that is. Little details, turn the awful radio off. But Jangles, the moon monkey, gets a very large room. You know, and the other actor, Captain Cosmos Rod Stoddard, gets a very small room and is jealous of Jangles because Jangles gets a massive room. Because the guy was clearly an egomaniac. Why he has a red dress, I don't know. There we go. Told you. That's true, the Jangles sets are everywhere. The Jangles moon monkeys, these are everywhere. Let's get this thing and get out here. So it's nice, but you know, it's just a. This is the sort of thing I wanted from the Creation Club from the very start. And yes, it's overpriced. It is very overpriced, but knowing that it's, you know, it wasn't Bethesda that made this makes me feel a bit better about the price. Yes, it's expensive. But it's also a lot. You know, you can feel a lot better about yourself knowing that the money you gave the modder some money. You know, and it is a quality item. Also, as a fun fact, I am not actually running the most recent version of Fallout 4 yet. I can access everything. The version number update is to the EXE is completely pointless. Completely, because I can access the Creation Club. I can do everything, but I didn't update because there was no. Well, I did update, and then I just rolled back to the previous one because I saw no point in updating every single Fallout 4 script extender related thing that I have just because Bethesda decided to put a bit more stuff in the Creation Club and fuck with a bloody date. That's a tease. You know, it's just a case I didn't want. You know, it's not a case I wanted to fuck around with it. You know, I just wanted to play it, which is why I basically keep a backup of every single EXE. Graded, you know, numerical graded everything. I keep it all there, ready for when the inevitable Creation Club update happens, and I have to fuck around with it. Not his bard. I'll give it that. Actually, let's just. No, I'll do it at bloody Brotherhood base. It's easier. I just want to show off sort of the customization options it has for people who don't have it and are waiting for it to go free. Probably won't go free, but who knows? The Arcade Workshop pack did, so who knows anymore. You know, you never quite know. But I basically just want to show off the customization options of this armor, and I have done something I have made a personal tweak to it. You'll find out what that is when I get there. No, if you notice the... Well, look at what X6's power armor is like. Clearly female in form. Well, I did the same for this one. You know, I didn't had to do the whole thing manually. But, you know... Why do I hear a radstorm rolling in, but not actually see any evidence that there's a radstorm rolling in? I just realised there's water between me and the Pridwin. Oh, now the storm's rolling in. Crabs! Apparently they're reflective, laser reflective. Advanced jetpacking, fire and bursts. And always make sure you're sprinting if you're trying to cover distance. And never do a jetpack jump without nearly full AP. Ever. And so you can carry yourself quite a way. Time to die, is it? Now the question is, can I make such a long jump? If not, we're in for a very, very... That's impressive. I jetpack jumped that far. That's quite impressive, actually. I was surprised by how well that worked. Yes, there's only one power armor rack, but I like to make sure I'm actually in the station. Now, just going to... I don't want to be irradiated while I'm doing this, so... You know, I want it to be clearly visible what it is, and radstorms make things clearly not visible. Oh yeah, I haven't shown this place off. This is the power shed. This is one of the little bunkhouses, got a little office space. Sort of like a scribe's room, if you will. I'm not very happy with how this connects. I might end up tweaking this later using mod pos and that sort of shit. Now, you're thinking, hazard sign, toilet signs. Well, it's a cruel joke on my part because, well, when someone has that mole rat on a stick, well, that's where they go. The luxury paladin suites, if you will. And sort of luxury suites. Defensive guns, of course. Just a bit of something to cover up the crafting area. First of all, let's take that fusion core out so no one can ever steal it. But, crafting time. Also, because the torso is the bit that's like the most obvious paint, but as you can see, there is a female shaped one. I'm not going to use it because it just sort of, I just want to show the paints off. There's an arc jet one, because why not? Brotherhood. Chrome, because tasteless. Enclave. Hot Rod. That's of course the Hot Rods you've unlocked. Repcon, which I don't think is actually... Is Repcon even mentioned in Fallout 4? Or was Repcon only really mentioned in New Vegas on that coast? Railroad. Default or no change ones. But basically, there is an Institute one, there is a Minuteman one. Basically, factions, Hot Rod, and for some reason, Chrome. Nah, in case I do actually decide to use it at any point. Always have a bright headlamp, just so you can actually see. And yes, Space Cowboy does put a cowboy hat on it, and it actually has purpose in that it increases reload speed. And I think it's one of the few times a non-standard perk gets there. And then you got all your standard ones as well. You know, it's quite well. It's well implemented. It's just stat-wise, it's just enough. You know, I keep forgetting that stat-wise, vanilla T60 is really, really easy to come by. But it is like no effort required to, like, pretty much no effort required to get it. That's like one downside it has is stats, but they can be easily fixed. Also, I believe it is an ESM, not an yes it is. It's one of the few ESMs from the Creation Club, which is probably because it makes changes to the default world. I don't know. I don't think it has. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's got enough records to fill the space or not. No, it does have the rank mark because it's sort of like Paladins. It does have them on the thing. I don't think it corresponds to anything like the armor paint jobs, but it works. You know, it's a nice enough little armor. You know, oh yeah, might as well shelf the Cosmic Cannon. So the Weaponsmith one, yes. Cosmic Cannon. Cryo Cosmic Cannon. I'm just going to call it Cosmic Cannon. Now it's got 3 different barrels. You know, it's got the capacitors. Laser barrel is nothing special. It's not. I mean, 106 compared to my ridiculous pistol's 178. But take the powerful mod off it goes down to 161. You know, it is rather lackluster as terms of lasers go. However, compared to the Cryolator, which I don't actually have on me for some reason. For some reason I don't actually have the Cryolator. Oh, I thought I did. But it's sort of better, and then you get no stock, woodstock, tasteful woodstock, which I like to do when I'm not in a USS space. And then you got your faction paint jobs. And weirdly, the cables are always a bit ridiculous on it. Yeah, the paint jobs are a little vibrant. You only get reflex sights as well, because it is. When you compare it to what you gotta remember is treat it like the Cryolator, except it uses proper ammo. Oh, and the other barrel is basically the Lorenzo's Artifact barrel, which is cheap as fuck. It shoots through walls, sort of cheap as fuck. But vanilla, it's basically a cryo rifle. Yeah, it's useful in that aspect, because the Cryolator ammo is so rare that you basically never use the thing. Hello, Farmer.
Protect and serve.
It had to be called Farmer, because... Oh, let's mix some Nuka-Cola while I'm here. I love how that's just Nuka-Cola Wild. Like, sort of double strength. Nuka Grape. And then there's poor Nuka-Cola, which is which is, I think, one of the few ones you start with from the very beginning. All I'm doing is doing this to take the weight down. That it's more effective than both Nuka-Cola and Nuka Cherry. There's really no reason. I'm not doing anything. The noise is still going. But there is really no reason not to make Nuka-Cola, because it is better than the Nuka Cherry and the Nuka-Cola, and it's half the weight. There's no reason... Oh, wait, I've just detected a flaw here. I don't think there's any people. I was going to check that beacons actually work. Oh, did I not stick a beacon on it? No, it's not miscellaneous, it's power miscellaneous, isn't it? Yeah, stick it on top of stick it on top of the shit shack. That's shit shack in a different meaning. Now settlers should arrive. So Farmak and I'll dress them in Brotherhood attire when they arrive. Apart from these like little spikes up here, these are both very un-Raider. Yeah, compared to the rest of them, which are sort of like blood and guts hanging on them, because Raiders are tasteless. But it does sort of work, this little place. It does need a few tweaks to make it work a bit better, but I think it works as a site. You know, and if anyone has the ability to re-pour concrete, it's probably the Brotherhood. Oh look, Paladin. Oh, Star Paladin even. Not a weapon you want to mess with, that. The tri-barrel minigun. It's just the fact that they've got something so crude on it, which barely even extends past the barrel. The barrel on that is so... The tri-barrel is so long that it's... You start seriously wondering if it's worth bothering... Why they're worth bothering with that. Yeah, I can press that with Gay Abandon now, because it's never going to do anything.
They may have liberated the Commonwealth.
Oh, you have a little laser pistol. I can't believe I hadn't looted that.
May the Institute's fall be a lesson to anyone who risk tampering.
Have you got the proper pistola? Why have you got a pistol? You're a fucking paladin. Wait, that's why. He hasn't got the faction painted one. That's why he's got the pistol, because anyone that isn't a scribe doesn't get a pistol, they get a rifle. Can't say I go this way very often, but this is where the Institute teleports you to. Also, the stairs have rotted away. They teleport you in here. And then you got to sort of sneak in, and it is probably the hardest of the final missions. I mean, Brotherhood and Minutemen, you both actually have to fire a shot. Railroad, you do. But only in the Institute part. You can take the Brotherhood down without firing a shot. You can, you know, all the others you do have to sort of actually fight. If you've got high charisma, you can actually cheat your way through the Railroad one and never have to actually fight. They also board this. This is where you've got to sneak in if you're Railroad, because they actually lock this gate. I can't say I've heard that line before.
Clark confessed to that whole crazy scheme. I've taken steps to make sure nothing like this.
Well, I think we need to find somewhere else to go. You know, let's just open the map up and plop a marker down here, because I haven't been there yet. So let's plop a marker down, and there's somewhere to go next stream. So I actually have a purpose. Do I have any other questies? Wait a second. I went to Saugus Ironworks and I forgot to get what I went there for.
Seems to be growing well.
Also, I didn't actually bother putting anything on this sign, I just had it because it was the arrow. Don't judge me. I mean, technically you could hop your way along these little islands, I guess. But power armor underwater is not something you ever want to do because it is just painful. Unless if you can't board the boat. This is a boat. I'm not sure if this has actually got anything on it. I don't think it does. Oh no, it does. It does actually have something on it. I'm surprised because for some reason these boats are very barren. There's very little on them. So there's always very little on these boats, without fail. you know, they're pretty lackluster. For some reason, like, they don't have any control consoles or anything. Everything has been stripped off them. Doesn't need to get out onto the jetty. Well, it's almost time. I'll just get somewhere a little more open. And there, this little pier will do. Right next to where I killed a crab earlier. This will do. Okay, I'm surprised that doesn't go boom. It looks like something that should go boom, but it doesn't go boom. Ah, right next to T-Posey the skeleton. Which I think is just bugged. I think it's just that skeleton's bugged. But anyway, that is the end of the stream. Thank you for watching. Subscribe or donate if you want. Donation link is in the description as per usual. Good. Oh, as is a list of all past live streams. Good. Bye.